students, welcome you all in the today's online section with a new chapter, blood circulatory system of human being. Children, as you all know that body of every organism, whether it is plant or animal, is made up of cells. The lower organism such as bacteria, protozoa, etc. may be unicellular. But almost all the higher organisms are generally multicellular. Larger organisms have millions and millions of cells in their body which may lie apart from each other. All these cells of the body need oxygen, water, mineral and organic food for their survival and maintenance. They need certain other substance to carry out their vital activities, such as they need the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide, food and water. They need waste material to be transported. They need various food material to be transported to the cells. Certain hormones are needed to be transported by the endocrine gland to various sites. For example, the animal takes up oxygen by respiratory organ or intake food and digest it in alimentary canal. The substances picked up by the respiratory organ or food absorbed by the alimentary canal must be supplied to all the living cells of the body by some mechanism. Such coordinated process carries out proper distribution of material among the cell by circulation. This circulation or circulatory system in human being is performed by a special system which is known as circulatory system. One more system which assists this transportation is lymphatic system. In this chapter, we will be studying about these two systems along with the components of circulatory system, which is blood vessels and heart. We will also see the composition of blood with functions, blood clotting, Rh system, blood vessels and certain disease which are related to circulatory system. Now, coming to the circulatory system, the main constituents are blood vessels and heart. Firstly, we will study about the composition of blood. Blood is the liquid connective tissue which consists of two parts, plasma and blood cells. Plasma is yellowish in color, which is slightly alkaline in nature and constitute 55% of total blood volume. It is made up of water and organic and inorganic compound. Maximum part, that is about 90% part, is made up of water. Remaining 10% part is made of organic and inorganic compounds, out of which organic substances constitute 7%. The remaining is inorganic compounds. A brief look on the components and function of plasma is water 90%, organic substance such as albumin, globulin, fibrinogen, prothrombin, glucose, amino acid, fatty acid and glycerol, hormones, enzymes, urea and uric acid. These are organic compounds which are present in plasma. Some inorganic substances such as sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, chloride, bicarbonate, biphosphate, sulfate, etc. are also present in plasma. They help in maintaining the blood pressure and volume. They produce osmotic pressure, help in transportation and production of antibodies. These components also plays an important role in blood clotting and act as providing regulator and biocatalyst substance, and they also plays an important role in maintaining the pH of blood. Blood capsules, the second component of blood. The first one is plasma, and in plasma are found blood cells or blood capsules. They are found freely floating in the plasma and constitute 45% of total blood volume. Their percentage in blood volume, blood cell, is known as hematocrit. Three types of blood cells are found in blood: red blood cell, white blood cells, and platelets. Red blood cells, they are commonly known as erythrocyte. They are enucleated. Enucleated means nucleus is absent at maturity. There are animals which are exception having nucleus, like camel and llama. These cells are biconcave in shape as the nucleus is absent, so it is constricted from the middle. They are very small in size, only 7 to 8 micron in diameter. Their number varies in male and female. Male have more number of RBC as compared to female. In male it is approximately 52 lakh per cubic millimeter, whereas in female it is approximate 47 lakh per cubic millimeter. In fetal condition, that is before birth, RBCs are produced in liver and spleen, whereas after birth they are formed in red bone marrow. Main chemicals which are required for RBC production is erythropoietin, which is secreted by kidney, folic acid, and vitamin B12. The main composition of RBC is a protein which is known as hemoglobin. Its amount also varies in organisms. It is approximately 12 to 16 gram per 100 ml of blood. It requires iron for its composition. It is mainly composed of heme, that is iron rich compound, and globin protein. It is very essential for oxygen transportation, as during the time of respiration, one hemoglobin molecule combines with 4 oxygen molecules to transport oxygen in the form of oxyhemoglobin. Its deficiency results in a disease which is known as anemia. Lifespan of RBC is approximately 120 days. After 120 days, it is destroyed by WBC and is taken to spleen, where this RBC is broken down into its initial component, that is heme and bilirubin, biliverdin. Spleen is also known as graveyard of RBC, as RBC is finally broken in spleen. It is also known as blood bank because in fetal condition RBC is produced in spleen and extra RBC are also stored. When this RBC is disintegrated, then hemoglobin breaks down to hemocyanin, bilirubin and biliverdin, among which these two are bile salt, and bilirubin is responsible for imparting the pale yellow color to plasma. Very important point, that the pale yellow color of plasma is provided by bilirubin. This hemocyanin is rich in iron and is reused by liver. White blood cells, also known by the name leukocytes. In these cells, since hemoglobin is absent, they are colorless. These cells have nucleus present in them and hence they are nucleated. Their number is less than RBC. It is approximately 7000 millimeter cube of blood. Lifespan is only 4 to 5 days, whereas we have seen that in RBC it is 120 days. The most important feature of WBC, they shows amoeboid locomotion. On the basis of cytoplasm, they are divided in two categories, granulocyte and agranulocyte. Agranulocyte can further be divided into monocyte and lymphocyte. Granulocyte can be divided into neutrophil, eosinophil and basophil. Coming to the first type, neutrophil, as the name suggests, neutro, that means neutral. They can be stained by acidic as well as basic dyes. They are neutral. Their nucleus is highly lobulated. Highly lobulated means you can see it can be seen in the form of lobes, and lobes number varies from 3 to 4 or sometimes much more than that. These cells are highly active. They help in phagocyting pathogenic or foreign material. They constitute 60% of total WBC. The next one is eosinophil. Eosine, as you know, it is an acidic dye. That means they can be stained by acidic dyes. Their nucleus is bilobed, 1 and 2. They constitute only 2.5% of total RBC, but their number increase at the time of parasitic or allergic reaction. The third one is basophil. Basophil, base. That means they can be stained by basic dyes. They secrete heparin, histamine, etc. Their nucleus is 2 to 3 lobed and their number is very less, only 0.5% of total leukocyte or WBC count. These three are the types of granulocyte. Now coming to agranulocyte, it again can be divided in monocyte and lymphocyte. Monocyte, the most important one. The cell is the longest cell of blood cell. Its nucleus is kidney shaped or bean shaped. These cells are highly motile and are phagocytic. Their lifespan is approximately 3 days. The most important feature of monocyte, that when in tissues they get transferred to macrophage and help in engulfing the foreign bacterial particle. Hence, monocyte and neutrophil forms the first line of defense in an organism. The last one, lymphocyte. These are the smallest leukocytic cell. They are non-phagocytic with round nuclei. Their number can be 20 to 25% of total WBC count. They can be divided in further two parts, T lymphocyte and B lymphocyte. Both of these help in immunodefense. That is, they help in developing immunity and production of antibodies. third cell of blood is platelets. Platelets are often confused with thrombocyte, that they are generally known as thrombocyte, but actually there is one basic difference between platelet and thrombocyte, that platelets are found only in mammals, whereas thrombocytes are found in all vertebrates except mammal. Both of them helps in blood clotting, but platelets are enucleated. Enucleated means nucleus is absent, whereas thrombocytes cells are nucleated. Because of the absence of nucleus, platelets appear to be oval in shape, whereas thrombocytes appear to be spindle shaped, having nucleus. Sometimes when we see the slide of platelets, we see a dark stained central body, but actually it is the dense composition of cytoplasmic fragment, and it should not be confused that the mammalian platelet have nucleus. Nucleus is absent. These platelets are formed by cytoplasmic fragments of megakaryocyte cell of red bone marrow. They are very small in size, approximate 2 to 3 microns. Their number varies in male and female. Generally, the range is from 2.5 to 3.5 lakh per cubic mm. Lifespan is also about 7 to 10 days. They plays a very important role in clotting of blood by release of thromboplastin at the time of injury. Whenever platelet cells are injured, they release a chemical substance which is known as thromboplastin, and that is why it is also known as clotting factor or platelet factor. So they should not be confused with thrombocyte cell. Both of them are different, but they help in blood clotting. Functions of blood. Blood performs many important functions and is very essential in maintaining the life. For example, it helps in transportation of oxygen. Blood contains RBC which have hemoglobin. This hemoglobin is responsible for transporting oxygen in lungs by oxyhemoglobin. Second, transport of carbon dioxide. In the body cells, carbon dioxide is produced as a result of various metabolic activities which needs to be transported to lungs for further expulsion. Third, distribution of food. Food materials are carried by blood from alimentary canal to all the tissues of the body for growth, repair and energy. Next function of blood is maintaining or regulating the body temperature. The main function of maintaining the body temperature is done by blood. It also helps in transport of various hormones which are secreted by endocrine glands. These hormones are dumped into the blood, and through blood they are transported to the target site. Thus, blood helps in transportation of hormones. Next function of blood is protection against disease. The white blood cells of the blood that is phagocytic cell, engulf the harmful bacteria and destroy them. Along with this, they also produce antibodies to kill the incoming harmful and pathogenic bacteria, viruses, and other harmful organisms. Blood also helps in repair of injury. WBC plays a specific role in healing the wounds, injury, damaged part of the body. These white blood cells inspire the cell of injured body organ for necessary growth and recovery. Next function of blood is formation of blood clotting. As we have seen that platelets help in clotting of blood, that is, it forms a clot on bleeding after an injury or wound by the release of platelet factor thromboplastin. So, it performs an important function of blood clotting. One of the important function is transport of excretory waste. Blood also helps in release of harmful waste material to the necessary organs like kidney for expulsion. One of the most important function is water balance and diagnosis of disease. Water is most essential component for the exchange and transport of physical substance. All the biochemical reactions are also possible only in the water medium. Justified quantity of water is being made available by the blood to the tissue cells. Blood is credited for excretion of extra body water as it transports the additional body water to the kidneys. Not only this, the diagnosis of disease has become possible by the blood test by proper examination of different components and chemicals which are present in the blood. In this way, blood performs a very important role in transportation of oxygen, CO2, hormones, excretory waste, maintaining water balance, diagnosing the disease, regulating the body temperature, and protect us from various types of pathogens.